You know, before I was lured into acts of childhood and mischievous vandalism,
Do you mean toilet papering?
of course I do, but it was so much more than just toilet papering. We treated it like it was art, and every home was a canvas awaiting our masterpiece.
Uh-huh. Anyway, before you became neighborhood vandals, you were saying?
Oh, right. My friends and I would rearrange people's garden gnomes. Every night we would move them, sometimes into different places, other times all together, as if they were in a ritual or a meeting. It was hilarious.
What were the people's reactions?
Oh, we never saw their reactions, but we imagined they were quite confused and maybe even scared.
So you just laughed from moving around garden gnomes while nobody was looking?
Yeah, it was hilarious. Can you imagine their faces? They probably thought they were alive.
Did you know some actually believe they are?
What? No way.
Oh yeah, and some aren't too nice either. Well, lore lovers, it sounds like I have a new tale to tell you today. This won't be my only video on gnomes. Not only does every culture seem to have one, it varies by region. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, and some of them are even pranksters like this guy over here.
Hi.
But today I want to tell you about the Duende. This little guy right here is in Latin and Filipino folklore. The Duende is a Spanish contraction from the phrase dueño de casa, or possessor of a house. In English, they have been described as goblins, elves, pixies, brownies, and fairies, even leprechauns.
Wow. No wonder you need more than one video for this.
In some Portuguese cultures, the Duende used their talent to lure young children into the forest, and they'll be lost forever. There is even a story of a little girl, I believe in Brazil, if memory serves me right, who went on a picnic with her family in a nearby forest. And she wandered off. Her family started looking for her, shouting for her name, but she never came. A few hours later, she finally made it back to their picnic site, her mouth sewn shut. What happened was she wandered off into the forest and found these little creatures, the Duende, to play with. They loved playing with her, and when she finally decided it was time to leave, they refused to let her go. But as her family tried looking for her, she tried calling out for help, so the Duende sewed her mouth shut. Fortunately, she was able to escape, and she still has the scars around her mouth to this day, and ever since then she's been quiet and refuses to go to the forest. However, in other parts of Latin America, Duendes are believed to help those who get lost in forests. And in some Creole cultures, they're considered forest spirits, where in Belize, they're considered forest guardians. In other parts of Mexico, they're thought to reside in mossy, cloudy forests of the country's mountain ranges. In Hispanic folklore of parts of Mexico and the American Southwest, Duendes are actually thought to believe to reside inside houses, specifically inside the walls of the bedrooms of children. And at night, as the child is asleep, they attempt to clip the toenails of the unkempt child's feet, often by removing the toe entirely instead of just the nail.
That reminds me. Did I ever tell you what I found in my food the other day?
Do not ruin food for me. Don't. In Filipino culture, they're called duende instead of duende. These ones are either white or black, and depending on the color, depends on if they're good or evil. They live in rocks, caves, old trees, lonely or dark places of somebody's house, even ant hills and termite mounds. And it's even said that if you step on an ant hill or a termite mound that has a duende living inside it, you will be cursed forever. They even play with children and can often only be seen by them.
So, next time your child is playing with an imaginary friend, make sure it's not the duende.
At least the evil ones. Well, lore lovers, that's the story I have for you today. I hope you found it as fascinating as I did. And if you think you've seen one, played with one, or even would like to meet one, let me know in the comments down below. If you liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to be alerted to when the next video is released, click the bell icon below. It really helps my channel grow. And until next time, lore lovers, keep your toes clean and don't get lost in forests.